Welcome to the Omnia Sol Art Show, the glitch art video podcast hosted by Omnia Sol. Episode 24.
My name is SYD. SYD.
Hello, true believers, and welcome to the Omnia Sol Art Show, a glitch art podcast that is hosted by me, Omnia Sol. Welcome today. We've got a great show for you tonight. My new album, SYD, is out on Bandcamp. The link will be in the show notes. And I thought, since the album's out, what if for this episode I just played the entire album with glitch art, and that was the episode. But then I realized that the album's a little over 40 minutes, and it felt kind of like a cop-out to not do the full podcast on top of just putting out the episode. What I will do is take the video from the episode and put it, make like a movie version of the full album. So that way, if you want to watch the podcast, you can watch the podcast. If you want to hear the whole album with glitch art going, you can watch the whole album. I'll put that in the show notes as well. And yeah, it's been an exciting week. I'm going to go ahead and turn the fan on. This fan is quieter than most fans. I'm going to see how much it picks up on the mic, because I am still dying of heat here at Sunrise Studio. I finally caved, and I'm getting a small window unit for this room because it's too dang hot. Sorry, drinking a pop to help cool down because it's too dang hot still. And I've been so creative. I've been working on so much, and I want to keep that up all summer. Keep the creativity flowing all summer. And I figure the best way to do that is to cool down the studio so it's not miserable in here, and so I can keep the door closed when I'm recording, etc. But tonight we are glitching a variety of nature documentaries. We are going back to the roots of the Omnia Sol Art Show, also known as TOSAS. On our very first episode, we glitched some nature VHS, and we're going back into that with this episode. I was actually rewatching some episodes on the TV. A couple things I noticed. Looks pretty good on a TV. I usually watch it on the laptop that I record and edit everything on, but it looks pretty good on a TV, gotta say. Another thing I notice is, one, I tend to tell repeat stories a lot. The second thing I noticed is that there's a lot of inconsistencies. If you are watching for canonical slice of life things in here, sometimes things get retconned without me even realizing it in my own life. For instance, one of the circuit benders we are using tonight, in the very first episode that I used that one, I named it Julie. I said, she looks like a Julie, she's a Julie. And then later, in another episode, I was like, I've been trying to come up with a name, and I'm going to name her Sophie. Because I already have Charlie, why not name my other circuit bender after another icon of pop music? So, named her Sophie, not even remembering that she already had the name Julie. I'm gonna stick with the name Sophie until I get another device that is even better and more suiting to the name Sophie, and then this one will go back to either Julie or another name. But some other fun purchases that I picked up recently. Here, I'm going to see if the fan is picking up on the mic. Just a minute. All right, so even though the fan is picking up on the mic slightly, it is worth it enough to be cool enough to record and to be coherent so that I don't go on off-topic rambles like last episode's, the time travel episode, where the topic was time travel and I started talking about the simulation theory. Like, that's not consistent. No one wants those type of rambles. So we're going to keep the fan on. You know, some shows have a bottle episode where they use whatever resources they have, small set, kind of like a clip show almost, or just it all contained, the story all contained in one room as a bottle episode. This is the fan episode because I got a fan blowing on my face. It feels wonderful, and it might pick up on the mic slightly, but c'est la vie. Anyways, going back to the topic, the recent purchase that I'm very excited about, even though I just released an album right now on Bandcamp, I am already working on my next project. I have just been flooded with creativity. So a couple purchases I got. I got a portable old school tape recorder, cassette tape recorder. I mainly got that one for field recording and sound collage. You know, you record something, press stop, and then the next time you want to get a sound, capture it there. But I also got it for the intent of dream journaling. I think dream journaling is very important, both kind of magically and psychologically. If you look at the history of humanity, dreams were very, very important to every single culture. It's how we talk to our ancestors. It's how we commune with our gods, with the spirit world, is in the dream world. And yet we are sold a lie that our dreams are essentially useless. It's just our brains regurgitating the day. So we go to work, we work our asses off, we come home, we finally fall asleep, and then we dream about our work. We're not getting paid for those hours, but we're dreaming about work. So there are methods of cultivating your dream life through lucid dreaming, where you can kind of control what goes around, fly around, do whatever you want in your dream world, which is a second life separate from your waking life in a lot of ways. But I've been trying to cultivate that. Dream journaling has always been difficult for me because when I wake up in a fog of dreams, it's hard to grab a pen and paper. I've tried recording audio on my phone, but then you have to swipe and open all these apps to try to get it to work, and you have all these notifications. You end up getting distracted. By the time you are ready to record, you've already forgotten what your dream was about. So with this tape recorder, all I got to do, as soon as I wake up from a dream that I want to remember, roll over, press the record button, it starts recording, then press stop, and it'll pick up. When I hit record again, it'll pick up right where I left off. So I think that'll be useful, not only just to record my dreams, but also to funnel and collage into future creative projects. Because another purchase that I got, sorry this turned into the Omnia Sol shopping corner, but the other purchase that I got that I think will really help my creativity is that although I just released an album, I am also have started working on another album. The creative juices are flowing. I have decided that I would like to release a legitimate vaporwave album. I have flirted with the aesthetic of vaporwave in glitch art for so long. I love vaporwave, but all of the music that I have made, if you are going to be a stickler about genres, has not counted as vaporwave. It is more in the electronic, experimental, noise, harsh noise, still plunderphonics, but more on the noisy spectrum than on the vaporwave spectrum, which is more melodic. Even though it is experimental, it's more melodic plunderphonics. But the other purchase that I got is a Walkman that has a USB out. So the way that I can use this is I can find cassettes at thrift stores, record shops. I can even record my own with this tape recorder, but I can convert cassettes into audio files and then mess with them in different programs, slow them down, chop them up, etc. But the way the cassette translates from the Walkman to the digital file, you pick up a lot of static. You pick up there are times where, like, on the normal record, on the normal CD, it's like do 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 do, and then on the cassette version, it's like do, like those weird, like, wavy glitches that are so prominent in vaporwave music. I think the main thing that kind of distinguishes vaporwave from more traditional chopped and screwed is that chopped and screwed is slowing down, it's chopping up, it's messing with music, but and sometimes improving it. There's so many good, like, chopped and screwed remixes that are so far superior than the original, whereas vaporwave still comes out of that, but it is about this, like, this capitalist decay, about this technology that is left behind, such as cassette tapes, and also taking music that is kind of put on in the background, the Kmart cassette music, the elevator music, the Muzak, and making something new and beautiful out of that, taking these broken pieces and collaging them together. So that's the new project I'm working on. The current project that is just out, that the episode is named after, SYD. We are going to play some songs off of it, but I want to go in, before I do that, I want to go into a little bit of detail about the album. So the reason the name SYD, as you know, I go by Omnia Sol, but that is a stage name that I came up with a few years ago. In real life, I have been with some people going by my birth name. With other people, when I moved to Chicago, I started to introduce myself as Omnia to certain people, and they would always hear I'm Nia, like I was saying I'm Nia, not Omnia, and Nia kind of stuck as a name. And at first I kind of liked it, but I have never loved it. And I want a name that I can love, so I came up with a new name. So I chose SYD, which is short for Sydney. I like it a lot. It gives me a lot of fluidity in my gender expression. And, like, if I want to be more feminine, can go with the full Sydney, or just the kind of in-between non-binary place that I'm at currently. SYD works really well, and I like being able, I like the crunch of SYD, that D at the end makes a nice crunchy sound. SYD, crunch, and also keeps me in the 3-letter non-binary name club, because if you meet a lot of non-binary people, at least in the United States Chicago area, there are a lot of non-binary people with 3-letter names, and I get to stay in that club, which is exciting. But we are going to go ahead and play some of the songs off of the album SYD, and this first song is the first song on the album, and it is the title track. The title track is SYD. So we will be back with you after the song.
My name is SYD. SYD. 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 My name is Sid. SYD.
All right, the album and song name, Sid, as well as the episode name, by the artist, yours truly, Omnia Sol. OmniaSolArt.bandcamp.com is where you can find the new album. There will also be a link in the show notes, as well as a link to the full album on YouTube, so you can watch the album if you want. We are going to go ahead and move on to the next segment of the show, the fan favorite segment of the show. It is time for What am I drinking tonight? Tonight I am drinking a cucumber mint sparkling water. Very excited for it. If you heard me drinking on the show earlier, that was a vanilla flavored cola. Still haven't finished it, but that's not what I wanted to do for the segment of What Am I Drinking Tonight. What I wanted to do was this cucumber mint sparkling water. This might be my favorite sparkling water that I've had. I will probably drink way too much of it and end up getting sick of it, but for the time being, it's my favorite. I love mint in everything, and this has a very, even though it is artificially flavored, a very non-artificial flavor mint, a very fresh mint with the cucumber. I love cucumber water. Back when I was, I'm still an alcoholic, but back when I was a practicing alcoholic, I would sometimes make cucumber beer, where just take a PBR, open up the can with a can opener, and then just plop a couple sliced cucumbers in there. Have yourself a summer medley beverage, refreshing. And this is a great alternative if you don't want the booze. But yeah, the mint is really good. I actually tried this morning, as many listeners of the show know, I like to occasionally make a no mosa using a sparkling water and putting that sparkling water with orange juice. And I tried it with the cucumber mint, thinking it would be disgusting, because the cucumber and mint together has just a very bad reputation, because if you've ever brushed your teeth and then drank orange juice, you know that terrible, disgusting flavor. I think that has to do more with the amount of artificial sweetener in toothpaste, because a lot of toothpaste is very, very sweet, and it makes orange juice taste sour. Or I don't know what it is, but the toothpaste in orange juice is disgusting. However, this sparkling beverage with a slight fresh mint flavor, I gotta tell you, it was refreshing. It's going to be the thrill of the summer. This summer, everyone gathering around and enjoying some nice fruit salad and barbecue, and having some orange juice with cucumber, mint, sparkling beverage, no mosas. That's going to be the thrill of summer. Maybe get on the beach, throw a frisbee around, do some hacky sack, go in the water. Have yourself a nice beach day and drink this no mosa, or just drink it straight with a nice koozie to keep your hands nice and dry and warm with your can cold in a nice koozie that is cucumber mint sparkling water. And that is the segment.
What am I drinking tonight?
Since we are celebrating the release of the album SYD, we are going to go ahead and play another song off the album. This one is titled UFO. So we will be back with you after the song.
Say
All right, the song was titled UFO, the album, of course, SYD. You can find it on Bandcamp now. It's out. Either go to omniasolart.bandcamp.com or just click the link in the show notes. You can listen to the full album. But we're going to go ahead and move to the segment of the show where I read your fortune. It is time for
Card of the Show.
All right, if you've got a question for the cards, think of it now while I'm shuffling the deck, and we will see what the cards have in store for you. So going to shuffle number 1. Shuffle number 2. And without further ado, we are moving right along to shuffle number 3. All right, let's see what your card of the show is today. And today, the card of the show is the Knight of Pentacles. The Pentacles, of course, have a lot to do sometimes with money because it's the element of earth. It has to do with your material surroundings, what you got going on in the material world more than the spiritual world. This card is a knight in shining armor. One thing that I always think about with this card compared to some of the other knight cards, such as the Knight of Swords, which is zooming into battle with a sword, the Knight of Pentacles, his horse is completely stationary, just sitting there on a beautiful black stallion horse, holding up his pentacle, and enjoying the bright yellow sky in the background. But we are going to go ahead and see what the app has to say about this card. So let me pull it up real quick. Knight. All right. The Knight of Pentacles. A person of integrity, responsible and trustworthy. Utility, matters concerned with money. This card can represent a patient, responsible, trustworthy person entering your life. If you are awaiting news, be patient. You should expect news to arrive in its own time. The person bringing the message is going patiently about their business without rushing their tasks. If this card represents you, you are an utterly reliable and responsible person. Sometimes you get too caught up in your own thought process, but this is balanced out by your strong instincts. You persevere until you attain your goal. You have a strong work ethic. Even if you are unemployed at the moment, you should not give up, as you will find work soon. Psychically, you may not see nature spirits, but you know they are there. You feel their presence in the ground you stand upon. You tend to like the old customs and traditions, and you will patiently wade through old books to explore them. Important money matters come to the fore at this time. So there you go. You got some important money matters. Seems to be a theme running through the show. A lot of pentacles, a lot to do with money matters coming to the forefront, it seems. Let's see. Have we gotten the Knight of Pentacles before? No, we've gotten the Knight of Wands. We've gotten the Page of Pentacles. We've gotten the Nine of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles. But we have never, as far as I know, could be proven wrong, because I haven't watched every single episode of my own show. But I don't think we've gotten the Knight of Pentacles before. So this is exciting. New card added to my list of cards of the show. So, whatever your question was, I hope that this card can guide you, can give you some advice, because, sounds like the spirits are there, but you can't always see them. So, feel them. And that was your
Card of the show.
Alright, well, I want to play another song off of the album SYD, because this is the SYD release party show. I am choosing between whether playing Swarm, Ghosts, or Zandra. Let's go ahead and play Zandra, and then depending on how much time there is, I'll probably still play Ghosts and Swarm. I haven't played those on the show before, but here is Zandra off the album SYD. Alright, so that was Zandra, and I tried with Zandra to emulate the feeling of insomnia you get when you're trying to go to sleep and you hear just like there's voices from all parts of your brain trying to talk to you when you're trying to go to sleep. And I tried to emulate that feeling of discomfort when you have insomnia with the song Zandra. But we are going to go ahead and play a couple more songs before we call it a night. This next song is called Ghosts, and being that one of the genres I work in being plunderphonics, which is taking samples from all over, collaging them together, a lot of times you don't necessarily talk about what sample do you use. It's part of the fun of it, in my opinion, of figuring out what, like, if you hear a sound and then you hear it later, the source material, and find out the source where the sample is. That's part of the fun of plunderphonics, because you're creating an entire new song with the sample. But I'm going to give you a heads up what the music is. This I actually took from the Pokemon Game Boy series. It's a variety of the different Game Boy songs slowed down and layered on top of each other to just create this chiptune noisy chaos to create the background for some spoken word. So we are going to go ahead and play Ghosts. I think is the song just called Ghost, or is it Ghosts? I should know. It's my own album. I should know what the songs are called. Oh, it's just called Ghosts. It's a singular ghost. And then after, we are going to play Swarm before closing out the show. I'm just going to go ahead and play them back to back. Sometimes on radio they do that. They play one song followed by another song instead of talking in between each song. So we're going to do that. We're going to play them back to back. And I will be back with you after the show to close it out. To all the words heads out there, I apologize that I have cut the words segment. Again, I am not reading from a book this week because it is the SYD release day party episode. All right, we will be back with you after the songs.
Okay, so I don't know if you ever have this, but sometimes my dream world kind of falls into like my waking life. Like when I wake up suddenly, like say I had a nightmare and there's a loud noise or something, sometimes I'll dart up and open my eyes, but I'll still be sort of dreaming, but the dream will just be around me, in my room. It happened the first time when I was a little kid, but it's happened a few more times as an adult. I think especially, I can guess exactly it'll do this in the next couple days, because the ghost that I saw in 2013, I'm still convinced I was a ghost, only because I literally looked away and looked back and she was still there. And then I was like, "Who are you?" And she smiled at me and then faded into it. When usually if it's a dream, it will, the way it will work is that it will fade pretty fast. I look at it and I can tell it's a dream because that looked like an actual person. Most of the dream stuff looks like bad, CGI from a sci-fi movie almost. Anyways, so that happened last night. When I woke up, I could tell it was a dream. I didn't think it was a ghost. I thought maybe it was a ghost or a spirit, because I was still in that dream logic. And then when it faded, I was instantly okay, that was just the dream, because it was happening in the dream before. So what it was anyway, so it was that character at the bar, and then I don't know what woke me up, but something woke me up suddenly, and I looked up and it was his head was still floating there, like a CGI like head off in the corner of my room, and then it like grew. It was so weird. It like grew into this weird eel thing, but it was still his head, but it was like kind of flying through the room as it was like disappearing back into nothingness. So that was weird but cool. It wasn't scary at all, at least not to me. But I just thought it was cool and weird, and wondered if you ever had a dream like similar where you could like see the dream while you're awake, like overnight. I don't know if it's like sleep paralysis, because I feel like I have the ability to move, where sleep paralysis you can't really move your body.
Alright, that was the song Ghost, followed by the song Swarm off the album SYD, which is out now on Bandcamp. Link in the show notes. And this has been the Omnia Sol Art Show, also known as TOSAS. Thank you so much for joining me on this glitch art journey. We will be back with you next week. And thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you really like the show and you want to support it financially, patreon.com/Omnia Sol Art. And see if I have any more announcements. I don't think I do, but hope you enjoy the album SYD, and I will talk to you all next week. Thank you so much. Take care and happy Pride. Bye.